So here we're looking at challenge 8A to complete 3 separate sub-programs. So we'll start with the first one. Create a procedure called repeat name, which takes 2 parameters, name and repeat. It takes in the name and then prints out the number of times in the parameter repeat. So repeat name Mary 5 prints Mary 5 times. So I'm just going to copy that because that's how lazy I am. I'm going to define it, and then of course it says that the variable should be called name and repeat. So then we're going to do a quick for loop where we do for I in range of the repeat, so it loops that many times, and then I'm just going to print name. So if I then run repeat name, actually I've probably still got it copied. Oh, brilliant. So just there, I'm looping that many times, and then I'm printing the name, but the name should have a capital N, so lucky I spotted that, and then bang, Mary, 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 Mary. Done. Not a very difficult one. I'm going to delete that because I want to run it, but I'm going to leave the function there just because I can. So create a function which calculates the perimeter of a rectangle 2 times width and height. It's a function, so it should return something. This is a procedure because it doesn't return an answer. It prints the answer, but that's not the same as returning it. So here, which calculates, so let's steal that. So we're going to define it, and we're going to do width, height, and the area equals 2 times width plus 2 times height. There's no need to worry about brackets because Bobmas will, or Bibmas, whatever you use, which will force these to go first and then add them together, and then we're going to return that. I didn't need to store it in a variable first, but I always like to so that's going to return the answer. Obviously if I run it, it's going to do nothing because I'm not executing the function. So I go A equals that and then print A, and it's 60. The rectangle perimeter is 2 times the width plus 2 times the height around the edge. That's quite an easy one as well. I'm just going to delete that one. But notice that's a function because it returns an answer. Create a function that returns the last 3 letters of a string. If the string is less than 3 characters, then add X's at the end to fill in the gaps. There's an easy way and a more challenging way to do this. So, you know, there's many ways to do this. I'll show you this one. Anyway, so I'm going to steal this. Oh, I'm going to steal this because that's how I am. So I'm going to define that. And then I'm going to do name, obviously. So basically, to get the last 3 letters of a string, actually, let's comment this out for now. So if I'll show you some print commands. So let's put Martin. Okay, there's the string. In fact, if I set the string here to name, right, Martin, then if I just print name, obviously it's going to print Martin. Don't know why I'm showing this, but I am. But if I print name and do colon here, I can actually say where I can actually do 3 things. You may remember this from the strings one. Hopefully you do, but if not, you can watch the string one right at the start where I go through, number 1 actually, where I go through how to access the last letters. But if I want to get the last letters, what I've got to do is how it works is there's 3 positions like this you can put in. Start, finish, and how many you want to step by. So in this case, it was step 1 letter at a time. So if I put 0 to 3, that's going to print 0, 1, and 2. It doesn't print the 3. So there, that's going to print MAR. So ignore the phone. So anyway, so basically 0, 3, 1 will print that. So I want to do the opposite. I want to print the 3 from the back. So what I've got to do is I've got to find the length of name and think this through. So the length of name is going to be 6, but we want it to start on 0, 1, 2, 3. Right. So because we want to go 3 back, we take away 3. Now we want to go to the length of name. So we're starting at the length of name minus 3. We're ending at the length of name. You don't actually need this. You could just delete that. It'll always do 1 by default. So that's the start. That's the end. And that will print tin. Okay? Because we're starting at the end minus 3 and we're ending at the end. Length of name gives us a 6. It gives us 6, which would be the character here after Martin, but it doesn't actually do that character. Okay? So that's quite handy to know. So if I copy that in, that's given me the code here to do, like, I'm going to call them, I don't know, LT for last 3. Obviously it's capital M. So now I could do return LT and it might seem that everything is hunky-dory. And you've done it. You do A equals that. Print A. Okay, let's do it again for Campbell. Obviously my name. And all is good. Campbell. Right, so it should print Yi and Campbell. Hold on, name is not defined. Make sure we type capital N's all the way through. Oh, that's not worked. So the reason it's not worked is because this is less than 3. So this is kind of annoying. If this happens, it's going to be annoying. Even if we put yin, it's fine. Yi, it misses out the Y as well, irritating. So basically here, we'd have to do a special thing if the length of name. So if the length of name is greater than or equal to 3, we set LT to that. Okay? Else, so basically, if it's greater than or equal to 3, we're going to do this. Otherwise, you go if the length of name is equal to 0, then LT is equal to XXX. Then you just go elif. I don't know why it does that. If the length is equal to 1, then what you do is you do LT is equal to name plus XX, because name's got 1 character in. And then you do elif. If it's equal to 2, it's name plus X. Or you could just do else at this point, because there's only, So think this through. Y is 2. Okay? If the length of name, right, let's do no characters, right? So if it goes in, the length of name is 0, we just set LT to triple X. If we put a Y, then the length of name is 1. We're saying let LT equal Y plus 2 X's. And if it's equal to 2, then it's not one of those two. So it's going to put name, YY plus X, and then you just return LT. You could put the return straight here. You could literally just return that rather than... You don't even need this LT if you don't want to. You don't even need it. You could just do return every time. So we return that. But we needed LT before. Return X. Return name plus thingy. And return... So it just returns... If it's more than 3, we return the last 3 letters. If it's 0, we just return triple X. If it's 1, we return name plus double X. And if it's 2 characters, we just return name plus X. So I go for I in range, the length, we'll do 3, sorry. Okay, so that's going to give us 3. So we're going to loop through 3 times, okay? And then we're going to do if I is less than the length of name, so if it's less than the length of name, we're going to add LT equals LT plus name I. Otherwise, and I'm going to go through this in a second to explain it. LT equals LT plus X. So what we're doing here is we're going to loop through 3 characters. We're going to we're going to do 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, and then 2. Okay, now I know there isn't a 2. That's the point. So think of it, the length of name we're putting in is 2 in this one. Let's pretend it's our example for Yi. So 0 is less than 2. So we copy the 0 of name onto LT. Then it goes up to 1. Okay, so 1 is less than 2. So we copy the 1 box, name 1 over LT. Next time though, it's bigger than the length, and so we have to copy X. So it'll be YIX. Except LT is unreferenced. Okay. Oh yeah, because I'm doing plus. So I just got to set LT blank to something, and then there you go, YX and EL.